what?
Yes, because you're black.
Man just eats a biscuit and was stopped by the police, especially when he saw the Audi the man was driving. The fat cop even tightened his gun on his belt, and all because the man was black. Even though the man had all the paperwork, the fat policeman asked the man to get out of the car. The reason was that he suspected that the documents were forged. The man tried to argue his case, but he was pinned to the hood. The daughter in the car saw this, turned on her mobile phone to record the video. She got out of the car without listening to her father's advice.
What are you doing to my dad?
The father advised his daughter to get back into the car. The officer also went to grab his daughter's phone. At that moment, the young son in the back seat woke up. Seeing the police officer pointing his gun at his son, as a father, he could no longer control himself. "Please don't shoot my son." The man then explains that his wife is also a police officer, and she was a police inspector. He then reveals his wife's police officer number. Holy shit, that's a lot more than 2 cops combined. The fat policeman, who knew that they were in trouble, they hurriedly handed the man his ID back. They said there was a misunderstanding. Then they fled the scene as if it was a mistake, leaving the father and daughter behind. But he would never have known what he had gotten himself into, especially when the policewoman checked the police recorder with her own eyes. Her anger had already reached its peak. Even if the chief said he would take disciplinary action against the bandit, disciplinary action would not be enough to quell his anger, because according to his investigation, in just a 6-month period, the fat cop had been reported several times for using excessive force. Of civil liberties had been reported several times. Invariably, they were black and yellow, but they always went unanswered. But this time he'd messed with the wrong people. If she couldn't even protect her family, she'd rather take off her uniform. Soon the policewoman pulled over the fat cop's car.
I'm a cop.
But when he saw the policewoman's number, the number of the policewoman, he kept his mouth shut. Although he produced his driving license in time, the policewoman asked him to turn off the car. But the fat policeman smelled of alcohol. He said he had only had a few drinks. The policewoman immediately decided to test him for alcohol.
Legally, I can refuse that.
And legally, I could throw you in jail.
The fat policeman tried to argue, but the policewoman said, "If you keep talking to me, I'll put you under the hood of the machine." By now the fat cop knew he was scared. He kept apologizing to the policewoman. He said he didn't know it was her family. But what's the point of apologizing? The children's hearts were already hurt. What about the other black people he was bullying? The policewoman told him to take 2 steps. He had to do as he was told and walk back and forth. Then he was told to stand on 1 leg. The fat policeman felt his pride was hurt.
I can report you. This is retribution.
If it was retribution, I would have done it when your kids were in the car.
I really am sorry, Sergeant.
The policewoman turned and left, but in the end the father had no choice but to teach his child. Always listen to the police. Do what you are told to do.
What?
Yes, because you're black.
Do well to watch it if you finds it interesting. Highly recommended. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this on Recap Next.